Hi guys, it's Beverly. So you may or may not have heard, but there's been a crochet tag. And what that is the crochet community on YouTube has set up a tag where they tag other crocheters, and they have a list of 10 questions, and they just want to know more about each other, and it explains our likes and dislikes about crochet. It gives us a chance to encourage you, the audience, to crochet, maybe understand the person behind the projects a little bit, and just take some time to contemplate what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I got started, what I see for the future with my crochet. So I'm going to give it a try here. I have the questions on my tablet here. And the first question is, how did you learn to crochet? And what happened was, when I was a little girl up in Michigan, there was a lady across the street, and she was a live-in nanny. And there was two twin girls, and she was their live-in nanny. When their father went to work, she lived there too. And we were all the same age, me and the twins. And so what she did was she sat us down some kind of way. I don't know how it all worked out, but she had those wooden spools, the thread spools, and she put the 4 nails in each one of us, gave us some yarn, and taught us how to knit on this spool, and made this long chain. So that was my first interest into yarn. Now, my mom crocheted, but we never got around to doing crochet. I think when I was younger, I knitted slippers. In fact, I know I did. I knitted the usual slipper pattern, okay? But I don't really remember knitting anything else. And I remember my mom crocheting, but I knit. I didn't correlate the two for some kind of reason. And my mom also quilted. And what was cool about it is I remember my aunt in Tennessee quilted. So my mom would make quilts up in Michigan, my aunt in Tennessee. Then we would go visit Tennessee. My mom would bring her tops, and my aunt would get some local guy to put the quilt together. So that was kind of my adventure into crafts. Okay. And so many years later, after I retired, I was very lucky. I got to retire when I was 45. Something made me want to crochet, and I had the internet, of course, and it's sometime in the last 25 years, I got on YouTube and I learned to crochet from patterns on YouTube. And then, I forget how many years now, maybe 2 or 3, I can look it up. I've been on YouTube, and I've been sharing my patterns that I make and my items that I make. And then this last 25 years, I've always been in craft shows, and I did craft shows up north, but I didn't crochet, so I can't really remember what I sold at my craft shows up there. But anyway, okay, so that's how I got started. What's your favorite thing to crochet? Well, I don't have anything specific. I do baby things for our crochet club. I do blankets and Afghans to donate. I follow Crochet Creations by Christy. Shout out to Christy. She tagged me. So on her channel, she has you, of course, if you want, post a hat every month. So what I do is I end up making 12 hats throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, I have my craft show in December. And if those hats don't sell, then I donate them in January and February to, I think it's Interfaith here in the county that I live. And so those items get donated. The dish cloths and stuff like that, she also has a thing where you make a dishcloth and you post it on her website. And so at the end of the year, I'm going to have 12 dishcloths. I'll have them for sale at my craft show. So then I've been making amigurumis off and on, but I never really perfected it. I mean, it was good. It was, they were nice. In fact, I had somebody request an item, and it was auctioned off. This was up in Michigan, so I never found out all the details. They just commissioned me to make it, and I made it. Okay. So the things were nice. I did sell some, here and there in my craft shows and stuff like that. But then within the last 5 months, I started back with the amigurumis again. And I mentioned it with the woobles. So I fell into that rabbit hole. And I found the crochet hook that I really like doing amigurumis with. Okay, so that kind of spurred me on, because before then I was trying to use a G hook or an H hook, because I didn't like working with the 3.25s and the 2, whatever. So this one is a 4.0 millimeter, an F 4 point. So when it calls for an F, then I think I'm good with it, because to me, a 4 is a G, 4.5 is a G. So anyway, so amigurumis, and because I am more comfortable with the hook that I'm using. Okay, if you could use only one yarn, what would it be? Well, I liked 4-ply. I like 4, 5, and 6. I do use DK yarn, but I don't like using it for blankets. So 4, 5, and 6 is the weight. The brand, I love Premier Puzzle. That's a 5. There's a yarn, it's called Bernat Super Value. It's made by Yarnspirations, and it's sold in Canada, but I can get it through Hirschner's. So that is my favorite yarn. I use it to make, it's a number 4. I use it to make baby blankets, hats, and sweaters that I sell on my Amazon shop and my Etsy shop. So probably the Bernat Super Value, the puzzle yarn. I am doing a lot of items in the number 6. Like, for example, this blanket I'm doing is a number 6. It's Bernat blanket yarn, but it's a single crochet and a chain 1. I don't like doing double crochets. Half double crochets are okay, but I'm liking the single crochet because it makes a thinner project. It's not, I like it much better, because this yarn I received in a kit, because I subscribed to the Mary Max Afghan kit for a long time. And so now I've stopped it, and then I gotta make the kits, you know. So the pattern that came with this, I didn't like it. I tried a couple other patterns. I didn't like it, so I came back to the single crochet chain one. Now there's two variations of this that I like. This current one is a single crochet chain one, single crochet in the single crochet below. Okay, so you can see the chains. The other version I like is where I do a single crochet chain one, and then I single crochet the next row in the chain one. So there's two versions that I found that I really like when I'm using blanket yarn. In my yarn stash, I have a lot of blanket yarn. So I'm really going to try to use it. And I've used 3, this is the third one. I think I started this month in July, and I used a Karen anniversary cake. Then I used some Dreamland from Lion Brand yarn, and now I'm using this Bernat blanket yarn to use up my stash. And then when I went to the Joann's closeout store, you know, I bought more blanket yarn, and I want to use that up. So 4, 5, and 6, puzzle and Bernat Super Value. Okay, weirdest thing you've ever crocheted. Well, I haven't made anything that's really weird. I made something that I can't believe I did it. At the crochet club, there was a woman. I don't know who she is at this point, but she had like a tabletop doily. Okay, now when I say that, you think of something that's flat, maybe that had the pineapples on it, a doily. Well, what this was like a 3-dimensional Christmas red, white, and green doily, and a portion of it had got damaged. So what I had to do, I said yes. I brought the thing home, and I had to undo the part that was damaged. Luckily, I was able to go on YouTube, and I found someone that had done something similar, and I followed their pattern. I fixed the thing for the lady. She was so happy. So for me, it was weird because I just kind of jumped off the cliff and said I would do it, you know. But as far as anything, you know, like a bathing suit or a thong, no. Okay, to me those would be weird. Something you'll never crochet. It's hard to say that what I won't crochet. I don't really prefer to do DK yarn on a blanket. So it's kind of hard to say what I would never crochet. The next one is, where do you get your inspiration? I get my inspiration, a lot of it, from Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube. I did subscribe to a crochet magazine. Crochet Now, I think it is. I have one here, but I won't go rummaging for it. I have tons of the magazines now, so I stopped the subscription. But I just see other people's makes, and I think I'd like to make it. Crochet plans you're excited about for the future. Well, I don't have any specific plans for specific projects. Well, I do have an Afghan that I'm excited to start, that I'm going to be making. It's a Christmas tree Afghan. It'll be shown on my channel, It's not the typical mosaic one with the green trees. This is one that I bought in a kit from Mary Max. I'm going to be starting it the second half of August, and it will be raffled at our craft show in December. Also, I have 2 trips planned. One in August, I'm going with Mikey at the Crochet Crowd to Nova Scotia, and that would be crochet related because we're going to make projects and meet fellow crocheters. Then in November, I'm going on a crochet cruise with Mikey and my friend Barb. We're going to be, so those are crochet plans that I'm excited about for the future. The worst thing about crochet is I can't read while I'm crocheting. Sure, I can get an audiobook and, I can watch movies, listen to YouTubes and podcasts and things like that. But I have a small, believe me, it's a small bookcase of books I want to read, but I don't read them. And my favorite thing about crochet. Well, I would say that I'm pretty much addicted to crochet because when I go someplace and I'm not driving, I take my crochet. In fact, when I was first starting out and before, I would get motion sickness in the car. I had to take Dramamine. I couldn't read. I had trouble sitting in the back seat. Now I crocheted. I used to take Dramamine and crochet in the car. Then I got to the point where I didn't need the Dramamine and I can crochet. So I'm addicted to crochet. When I go someplace and I have to drive, I can't wait till I get back home so I can crochet some more. And it's my therapy. It's gotten me through a really rough time. It keeps my mind off of that rough time. If I sit idle and kind of stare off in space, my mind goes there. I don't want to go there. I want to crochet. So hopefully this video will inspire you. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to express these ideas and thoughts and whatever. And I hope you'll continue to watch my channel, and maybe there'll be some new subscribers based on the tag. And I love you guys. Bye.